So the Premier League is finally back after 5 weeks without, of course, the 2020-21 campaign kicks off today at Craven Cottage, a London derby between Fulham and Arsenal. Of course, Fulham on the back of that playoff final victory over Brentford a few months ago, and of course Arsenal as well on the end of a Community Shield and FA Cup double win. So this should be a quite interesting match to kick off the new season. Some quite interesting news in terms of the lineups as well. Fulham have chosen not to debut any really of their new signings except for Harrison Reed, who of course was there last season. They signed him permanently this summer, and Alexander Mitrovic on the bench for them, which kind of confuses me in a way, but Scott Parker has chosen to stick to his guns that won in that playoff final against Brentford a few months ago, and who knows, it might just pay off for them. Arsenal on the other hand playing two of their new signings, of course Willian. I'm a Chelsea fan, so I'll know all about Willian, and also Gabriel Magalhaes, the left-footed centre-back who makes his debut in the Premier League today as well. Yeah, so I've just fixed the light because of course, as you saw by the intro, I was a bit dark, and yeah, the Premier League is finally underway. We have just kicked off, and let the fun commence. By the way, I forgot to make a prediction for this game because I'm actually going to try and start doing that before these games now that I watch, and I'm going to go with Arsenal 3, Fulham 1. So yeah, an opening day 3 points for Arsenal in my opinion. I do think it'll be quite close, but then Arsenal will try and kill the game off late in the game. So yeah, 3-1. And Arsenal have gone 1-0 up if it's not offside. Lacazette has just scored the first goal of the new campaign. It was a really scrappy goal. It just really fell to Willian, and I think he nudged it past the goalkeeper, and Lacazette on the goal line to tap it in. Aubameyang down the left hand side feeds it into the middle. Xhaka takes a shot. It's really scuffed by Ream, and I think yes, it will count because Lacazette is onside on the rebound from Willian's shot. And yeah, the first goal of the new season is probably the scruffiest goal you're going to see this season, so you couldn't write this sort of thing. And yeah, Fulham 0, Arsenal 1, the first goal of the new season going to Alexandre Lacazette. Fulham are actually playing some quite decent football, to be honest. I actually think they're probably on top in this game. Not really on top, but they've actually been very much on terms with Arsenal in terms of possession and chances created so far, so I wouldn't write them out of this game too quickly. Good chance for Fulham here. Odoi down the right. Into the middle. Oh my god, someone has to get a touch on that. That's the second or third time Dennis Odoi has run down that right hand side and sprayed a decent ball across the box, and camera's nowhere to be seen. Fulham have a corner here, probably the last chance of this first half because we've gone over the amount of time that was supposed to be played at injury time. Reed takes a shot and puts it over the bar, and that is of course the half-time whistle. Now to be fair, it's been quite even in terms of like possession, chances created, and overall in terms of who's controlled the game. I think it's been pretty split this first half. Fulham have handled themselves very well back in the Premier League in their first game back. Of course, Arsenal took the lead early on in the 9th minute through Alexandre Lacazette, a very scrappy goal. Tim Ream probably should have done better maybe to defend it, but and I think once they get the likes of Mitrovic on, I think then Fulham will really start to try and go for a goal in this game, and so far they haven't been too bad at all. They can be impressed with how they've gone in this first half. I am a Chelsea fan, so I'm going to be going for Fulham to a certain extent in this game, so yeah, hopefully even Fulham can equalise just to make this game a better one for the neutrals' point of view. So yeah, let's see what happens in the second 45. Corner for Arsenal whipped in, decent ball, and 2-0, and it's actually Gabriel Magalhaes on his Premier League debut. You couldn't write it. Willian with the ball in, a very good header by Magalhaes, who seemed like he was unmarked in the middle quite strangely. We'll see this again now. Michael Hector was actually marking him, but was he really? Because he literally stood behind Magalhaes and literally allowed him to just head it right past the goalkeeper. It's really poor defending from him, I have to say. Good header though from Gabriel Magalhaes on his Premier League debut, puts it through the legs of Marek Rodak, and Arsenal now have broad daylight between themselves and Fulham now right at the start of this second half, and it looks like Fulham have themselves a mountain to climb if they want to get back into this game on the opening day of the season. Literally, I go and fill up my fucking bottle and Arsenal go and score a third. Aubameyang, I literally saw it from my brother's room because he's watching the same match, and it's 3-0. Willian goes forward. I think is that 3 assists for Willian in this game? Willian's assisted all 3 goals. What a finish from Aubameyang, by the way. Fulham have completely collapsed in these last few minutes. An absolutely incredible finish into the top corner from Aubameyang. I just can't believe Willian has 3 assists. Like, he never did this for Chelsea, and he does this on his Arsenal debut. So we're about an hour in, so we have about half an hour left to play. Fulham need to get Mitrovic on. Like, he's literally their only hope at this stage. They've done okay in attack. It's just that in the final third, they've had absolutely no end product whatsoever. They've done everything right except for the final ball or the final shot, and they just really need someone like Mitrovic to try and sniff out a goal for them in these last few minutes. There we go, 2 substitutions from Fulham, and one of them is the big man Mitrovic, who comes on a like replacement for Aboubakar Kamara, and also Andre Frank Zambo Anguissa comes on for Naskins Cabano in that midfield. So yeah, Fulham with 2 changes. Hopefully they can get at least 1 or 2 back and maybe make this scoreline somewhat more flattering for them. So we've got about 20 minutes or so left to play, and to be fair to Fulham, they've actually kept their heads up. They're trying to go for another goal to try and get one back. Since Arsenal scored that 3rd goal, you think their confidence would have been shot a bit and Arsenal would have gone on and probably scored a 4th or a 5th goal, but Fulham have been on top here in the last few minutes. They've actually been going for it, so that's a good sign for them. Mitrovic with the ball in, right across the face of goal again. How many times have Fulham done that and just not got a touch on it? That's literally the 4th or 5th time in this game alone that Fulham have swung that ball across the penalty area and just nobody takes a gamble and just gets a nick on it. Okay, so 3 minutes of injury time have just been given. Arsenal have pretty much sewn up 3 points by now on this opening day. It's been a decent performance by them, but on the other hand, I think that Fulham haven't actually been that bad themselves, really. There's a lot of positives to take from this performance from Fulham, I have to say, and they've kept the ball quite well at times. It's literally just they have to get that defence sorted, and I think that Scott Parker will learn his lesson now that he has to play Mitrovic going forward, because Fulham look a lot less creative without Mitrovic. Even though he hasn't really done much off the bench, I still think he has that threat that other players don't have at Fulham. So yeah, just a few minutes away now from the final whistle to this game. I don't expect any more goals in this game. So yeah, Fulham 0, Arsenal 3 by the looks of it. And there we go, that is the full-time whistle at Craven Cottage. The Premier League season back underway with a Fulham 0, Arsenal 3 result. A decent performance from Arsenal all around. Their attack was just blistering once again on the attack. Goals from Lacazette, Magalhaes and Aubameyang giving them 3 points on the opening day, but I think there's definitely some positives to take from Fulham's point of view in this game, to be fair. As I said, they'll know from now on that they have to play Mitrovic if they want to be dangerous in front of goal. They tried to keep the ball quite well as well, and to be fair, the first 2 goals were really just avoidable from their point of view, so I think they need to try and eradicate those errors in the backs. The third goal, not really can do, just a masterclass from Aubameyang, really. And yeah, another thing I really actually liked about Fulham today was the fact that they didn't give up. Once they conceded the third goal, they could have just collapsed and conceded like 5 or 6, but they actually held their own, tried to attack Arsenal a bit more, and in the end held the 3-0 scoreline. And yeah, it was literally a single Fulham goal off my prediction, right, because of course I did predict a 3-1 win for Arsenal. It was 3-0, but yeah, the Premier League back underway in full flow. I'm absolutely buzzing now to see what the rest of the season and the rest of this weekend especially brings for us in terms of out and out action. And I will be doing this same type of video, the same style of video for Liverpool versus Leeds at 5:30 kickoff UK time, so make sure to stay tuned to the channel for that later on. And yeah, that's where we're going to end this video, so leave a like if you did enjoy. Also make sure to subscribe to the channel if you're new. We're looking to hit 500 subscribers as soon as we possibly can. I'll see you guys in my next video. The Premier League finally back up and running for 8 months of more action and drama. See you guys in my next video. See ya.